Now accepting a magical pact to have a ghost best friend seeing his everyday move, the boy decides to ask how he became a ghost anyways. The ghost then reveals that he accidentally slipped on a bar of soap and fell on his head. At least he didn't drop the soap in prison. Upon hearing the sad news, the boy asks what he studied when he was alive. The ghost responded by telling him that he dropped out due to his abilities, since he made Megabank being a male host, easily satisfying any customer with ease. Anyways, long story short, if you guys want ghost magical powers, he just says to get good, since he's just built different man. Rule number 1, just be attractive. Rule number 2 is to always follow rule number 1 or else be a beta male. Nevertheless, our boy didn't care about any of his stories, so the first chance he gets, he asks the true question of whether or not he can use his powers on any girl now. Upon hearing the question, the ghost gets super worked up, telling him to simmer down sussy baka, since even though he has powers now, he still needs to know the basics of being a Sigma male. The ghost then points at his hair, calling him a bold boy, telling him that he needs a haircut to help fix his unappealing face for girls. He then says that a guy is nothing without his hair, so we hear that guys, just go bald like the top G. Afterwards, the ghost reveals his name is Gam, so Gam urges him to go visit a specific salon since he knows a girl over there. Later in the afternoon, Gam is actually able to convince the boy to leave the house to get his needed haircut to win some girls. Upon arriving at the aforementioned salon, things get a little sussy as Gam's face tells me that something is about to happen. The boy then enters the salon awkwardly, yelling out loud initially, claiming that Gam told him to come here as a recommendation. It's then revealed that there's only one person inside, a pink-head bombshell that somehow already knows the name of our boy before we did, Nam Sung. Somehow, Gam the ghost was able to text her that Sung is coming over, so she explains this is the first time Gam has ever referred anyone. Meanwhile, our simp is already bright red at the onset of a beauty, so Sung just claims that Gam always recommended the salon. As he sits down, the girl asks him what Gam has been up to lately, since she has no clue that Gam passed away long ago. Luckily, Gam comes out of the woodwork, telling Sung to just make something up, since she'll believe him as she has no idea where Gam has been. As such, Sung tells her that Gam went abroad to go to some amateur Roblox Fruits tournaments so he could warm up for his Counter-Strike 2 FaZe Clan appearance. She's then like, dang, really? I can't figure him out. Maybe because he's already dead, bro. Speaking of the ghost, as the girl turns around with cake in the open, he whispers to Sung that if he listens to him, he can easily bag her. As Gam hypes him up like a true best friend, Sung gets worried since he's never complimented a girl in his life other than Kang from the morning. Thus, his confidence begins to waver, but the girl perks up, asking what she can do for him. He then says no bowl cut please, so as she gets closer, he starts to shake, forgetting he has the powers all boys would die for in their dreams. Luckily for our boy, he gets accidental contact, so his special ability pops up, revealing her name and other information. Somehow, she's already into him just for being a referral. It doesn't matter though, since our wimp is taking ages to gain some confidence, which is why every girl says confidence is key. 69 minutes later, he finally snaps out of it, so he randomly begins complimenting her nose. And just like that, he's in. Remember guys, if you like a girl, just say nice nose bro and you got it in the bag. He then continues, throwing more compliments at her left and right, claiming how she could totally be a model on the King anime runway. A pop-up then occurred, notifying him that Ju's interest has increased even more, basically at max level. Within just seconds of gaining confidence and throwing compliments from the game guide, Sung already looks like he has a new fish in his pond, ready to jump out to get grilled over the fire. The two then hit it off while Jung is left amused as he didn't think it would actually be this easy, forgetting that he has crazy magical powers to win anyone over. Nonetheless, Ju finishes obliterating the bowl haircut, so she takes off her apron, dragging along Sung to the other side of the room so she could finish and wash his hair. But then, out of nowhere, another notification popped up alerting Sung that he has received quest tips due to her dramatically increased interest in him. Sung then peeks as Ju attempts to bring him to another corner, probably thinking that things are going way too good too fast. It doesn't matter though, as another quest tip popping up orders him to get excited after feeling the touch of Ju, so he's ready to rumble to take over the cake's cherry. Gam then appears, calming our boy down, telling him to relax as he'll feel the excitedness flow through him as soon as she starts shampooing his hair. Sung then sits down, anxiously waiting for what the hell everyone is talking about, so his heart begins to race. It then dawned on him what they meant by excitedness, as adrenaline begins to rush down to his feet due to the angle she's shampooing his hair with. But then I forgot this was a cultured anime, so I didn't expect her to fully attack him with her twin dragons head-on. It was at this moment he knew he would lose the November challenge, as he can't help himself get excited, as if the dark magician girl is busy activating her trap card right on top of him. Like a true savage, she doesn't even give him time to breathe, as she continually fires off lasers from her twin dragons with great precision into his face. Her surprise siege attack was so good that Sung is brought to the heavenly realms, where he finds himself feeling like he's floating amongst the clouds. She then says she's basically turning on his light bulb to max brightness, but there's a limit before the light bulb bursts and the glass breaks. But then, it finally happened. She noticed a fully upright rebellion, so she stops for a moment to stare at the monument. As such, she abruptly stopped as she went to go dry off a towel, while having a smirk on her face since she knows another towel is about to get absolutely flooded. Sung is then left shocked, still unsure how the crazy game tips always work, but he doesn't care as he's enjoying every second of it. Suddenly, she intently drops a brown rag on the ground. Things then get real, as if it's time for overtime as Yu leans over and whispers to him, saying how his shoulders are so tense. Another quest tip then pops up, alerting Sung that her excitement level has reached 9,000, so he just needs to say one final word to complete his mission. It then turns out that the game menu wants him to be even more cringe, ordering him to tell her that he's also feeling tense somewhere else too. Luckily, just as he's about to nope out of everything, Gam saves the day, telling the dumb boy to trust the screen, since it never lies and it's literally a magical ability. Thanks to Gam, he stops being a wimp, so he grabs her hand and pulls a cheesier pickup line than my moldy cheese pizza. But you know what, guys? It works. Just remember, follow rules 1 and 2 and you are golden in real life. Anyways, our boy is smart to pick her up as she can now feel the rebellion and the uprising more clearly. Of course, as things escalate faster than me making diarrhea jokes, Gam instantly pops up to watch the entire event unfold, telling Sung to enjoy himself. Ju then goes to get Sung's drink, but she's an expert, so she easily handles the extra large in one gulp. His banana plantation then accidentally explodes in like 15 seconds, so Ju looks at him in sadness, saying she was just getting started in watering the soil. Then out Gam, absolutely frustrated that his plantation is finished already, so he tells him to get the reward from the tutorial quest. It's then revealed that he got a pill as a reward from the quest that allows the shrunk tree to instantly grow to a full banana tree. In a panic, he uses it as he doesn't want to let everyone down, so it resets his level. And just like that, he's back to brand new, as if he visited Nurse Joy at the Pokemon Center to get fully healed. Thus, he gets the real show on the road as Gam watches Sung's banana plantation devour the pink hair. The rest was history as he transforms into his cosplay of a jackhammer, and basically this is where you must use your imagination, unless you're our editor. Regardless, Gam and Sung leave the salon, heading straight to the restaurant that Sung works at now next. Upon arriving, Gam looks on, complimenting how huge the building is, totally not being a suspect sussy baka. Meanwhile, Sung is amazed at how he looks like now after getting rid of his bowl cut and changing into better attire. However, even though he looks better now, Gam still calls him a loser, since he still acts like one, even with his crazy magical powers that he has inherited. With the uncalled for insult, Sung turns around and starts insulting him, yelling at him to try and not to talk to him inside. But then Gam tells him to remember how to ignite his abilities, since he's sure that he has to be working with some solid 10s at a big restaurant. In an instant, all of his anger towards Gam gets replaced with his sussy tendencies as he realizes that Gam is actually big brain since he's right. As such, he enters the building, where he encounters the general manager welcoming him and asking why he's here today. But Sung just waves him off, telling him that he only came by today on his day off since he missed him. So the two started catching up as the manager began to ask him about his brand new house and how his move-in was. It then turns out that the manager is actually super nice, so he sets up a housewarming party for him, asking a girl named Sung Hee to tag along. However, every time Gam sees a pretty girl, he instantly shows up, since he can't help himself being a true bro, as he always wants to help out brother Sung. He then takes a closer look, telling Sung that he should totally prioritize her tonight, even though she's totally ignoring Sung the entire time. Gam then continues on, claiming that he knows girls like Sung Hee are always the type to be the craziest when they enter and meet a banana plantation ready to be harvested. Just as Gam wanted, a brand new sub-quest appeared in front of Sung, ordering him to create his first ever partner. Another one followed up, alerting him that due to the sub-quest, Sung Hee's interest level has skyrocketed from an abysmal level all the way to level B. For the first time ever, she actually glances at him, although her face still looks like she wants to puke. Nevertheless, she finally makes her first introduction by grunting as if she knows what events are about to occur on the horizon. Fast forward to the evening, where Gam attempts to wake up Sung over and over, as if he apparently passed out. Gam then yells at him silly, ordering him to wake up even though Sung has no idea where he is currently. It's then revealed that he's actually at a motel in the early morning, but Sung doesn't remember a thing. Eventually, after a few more head scratches, he began to remember the night he had partying as he was having so much fun at his impromptu housewarming party. Upon hearing what's happened, Yam looks at him in disgust and disbelief that a wimp like him could actually black out from just a few drinks. But then Gam delivered some good news as Sung gets a grip of reality. As it turns out, he actually went with him home to his motel. We further discover that she's actually still here right now, busy in another room showering. A flashback then occurred back at the restaurant, where the manager reveals to Sung that he's actually dating Sung-hee on the down low. But since the manager is also a bro, he urges Sung to try his luck at the branch, since the branch is known for having the best girls. The manager then tells him that he will keep it between them two, as if any word gets out, and both will get fired for dating within the company.